Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Doing an update on HBAR. I'm currently in this trade long and I will show you that setup at near the end of the video. Just wanted to go over the various wave counts we have at the moment. First of all, on the daily, real quick, have this as either a 3 or 5 wave. 3 waves up to this point or 5 waves up to here. Either way, have us needing to finish here in 5 waves coming down as either a flat pattern, again working on our 5th on the way down, or a expanded flat where we have 5 waves here for our final wave down. The difference that's going to make is in the future when we have to run extensions off this finished correction to the upside, but that's way down the line. So right now just focusing in down in this area. I have this finishing as a ending diagonal, or alternatively a triangle or a flat. Right now my bias is that this is a ending diagonal just based on everything else in the market. But first of all, we had a 4th wave here. This is my proposed 4th wave. A couple different reasons this is our 4th. Biggest ones being how far down this retracement came. If this was a impulsive wave to the upside, that came down way too far to be a wave 2, and then the reaction off that was 3 waves as well. So if that was the bottom, you'd expect another 1, 2, and then we take off. Didn't get that. So as of right now, have this as zigzag patterns coming down to the finish in 5 waves, expecting to finish down in this area between the 786 and the 1-to-1. All this is a extension off our wave 1, off our wave 2. Expect our 3rd wave to be between the 618 and the 786 extension. Come up for our 4th and overlap with our 1, then come down and finish between the 786 and the 1-to-1 extension of that wave 1 in an ending diagonal. Or alternatively, I mentioned to you the triangle, but both very similar patterns. That's where this is A, B, C, still working on that D, or it's here, and E, and we come down. But as of right now, have us coming to the long side, and the very further alternative is this would be a complex correction, where we'd get an ABC up to here as a flat, be either an ending diagonal or a flat in itself, where we get a 335 and then come down to further downside, but this 4th would just get moved over. That is one of the most unlikely currently based on this wave count. So currently waiting for this B wave to finish up here at the 650 to 618 of this A wave down before our C wave or Y wave. Zooming in even closer. If you followed my videos previously, I had this as a WXY double zigzag. Couple different reasons. We came at the 786 of this first wave 2. That was on log scale, and on linear scale we hit the 1-to-1 of the W off the X for our Y. So we had that little green box you can see there as our target, and we hit basically the tick, and then we pivoted off there. One of the alternate counts I had that's becoming even less likely now was this was a leading diagonal in itself as an A wave, and in turn we were expecting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 then come up to the area we were expecting, but the amount of time it's taking to drift sideways, it's not impulsive at all, which leads us to go with the probability that the WXY double zigzag is the count, and waiting for this move to the upside between the 50 and the 618 of this wave A. So our expectation now is we get our move up as an ABC before taking our short to the downside in that second wave of our 3rd as a C wave or a Y wave. Again, the only difference between C's and Y's is we get a zigzag as our Y rather than a 5-wave as our C. So don't get overcomplicated with that. Fib targets are all the same for the most part. It's just the wave, how many waves we're expecting to come. And most commonly in crypto, I see 3-wave moves rather than 5. So that tends to be my bias when I'm labeling things. Now, going in even closer, this was our wave setup last video. I had buys at the 382, the 50, and the 60. The 618 of this wave here, I have as a 3-wave A wave. Looking for our B, it might be finished, it's hard to say. And coming up for our C in either 3 waves or 5 waves. Again, an ABC or a WXY. Now we haven't gotten much follow through so far. So we have to consider the fact that we might come down a little bit lower in this area, but not much. I was looking for a reaction here to come up. We've clearly extended out. This could technically still be a wave 1, but it'd have to be a bunch of nested 1-2s. This would be a 1. We'd have a expanded flat 2, another 1, another 2, another 1, another 2, and we'd really have to shoot up here at the moment. We are breaking this trend line, short-term trend line, so that's a good sign. But if we do come down from here, I'm not too concerned. I would expect this to be a W, X, and perhaps an ABC here. Just down a little bit lower to perhaps between the 50 and the 618, and then we take off. Or again, we have that bullish count. But either way, my setup doesn't change. I have this as a whether this has to be moved over a little bit when it does come down, a B and a C. And looking to target, I'll probably front run a little bit. I mentioned last time at the 50, but we do have our most probable targets here, the 1-to-1, the 1.236, the 1.382. I wouldn't want to hold past the 618 retracement of this wave down. So I'm going to front run it a little bit. And there's a little bit of difference between log and linear. If you are on linear, I'd probably target between the 1.236 and 1.382, up between 6.1 and 6.24. Or on log, you know, just around 6 cents. I usually go with the closest of the two targets just to be safe. So that's the update on HBAR. Not too much has changed. Just been watching this fill out. But it is very good news that this is just stuck in a channel sideways. Leads me to believe the next move most likely is to the upside. Again, as that Y wave or C wave in 5. So just waiting for this to fill out. Nothing really suggests just the downside. And if it does, it would be very, very, very slow moving. And I'll show you what I mean by that. The way you would usually go more downside is this would end up being some sort of complex multiple zigzags or diagonal, which are very slow moving. And all that would be is WXY for an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would make another larger A wave, come back up, come back down. Like it would be very, very, very slow moving. These aren't a series of nested 1-2s. They're all 3-wave patterns. And again, we're drifting sideways. So my bias is heavily to the upside on HBAR, but only to around 6 cents, in which case I'll be flipping short. And I will also be updating that once we get to that area. Again, guys, this isn't financial advice. I just give you full clarity of how I see the market and what I am personally doing in the market. I don't suggest anybody follows me. This is just what I do. All right, guys, I also did an update on Bitcoin if you want to check that out. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.